Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Madals. Welcome to some more Heart of the Swarm action. Today I've got some ZvT action coming up, and it is between the blue Zerg player spawning in the lower right, VortiX, and his opponent in the lower left, the red Terran Millennium's ForGG. So these two definitely looking to be in for a tough match. ForGG, of course, was at the ESET UK Masters. He did get knocked down in the group stages after losing 1-2 against both Johnny Rico and Baby Knight. So this is very, very much a frustration for him. He wasn't happy. If anyone saw his Twitter afterwards, he was mad. But of course, this is a bit of a time away, so ForGG definitely recovered. What we should be expecting on this map from these two players is a few things. Well, for a start, VortiX is definitely going to be looking for something along the lines of Ling Bling Muta. The reason it's really effective on this map is because Mutalisks have a lot of dead space to try and utilise, both around the main and down by the third, or natural, and as such, you can really do very effective play there. But to the same extent, ForGG going to be looking to drop quite extensively, should have an okay time doing it. So these two both have options. This map does favour drop play, airplay, just due to the spawning positions and the amount of dead space, but definitely something to watch out for. This map leads to a lot of exciting games. In terms of thirds, VortiX will probably take the further third, to be honest. More Zerg players tend to do that. Some don't like going that far and will take the closer one, but VortiX actually just going to come out and scout very early on with this drone to make sure that he knows what's happening. ForGG will be going command center first though, so nothing to be concerned about. Is going to get his part of the wall off, and I like this. I think this is a much safer way, especially when you don't know if your opponent's just going for, say, a 6 to 10 pull. If you build your command center down here and they're going for a 6 or 10 pull, or something between, you get Zerglings in and you're pretty much going to lose a lot at the very best, and that's never something that you really want to happen. The Overlord also staying on the natural base. This is a cool little thing, making sure no bunkers go down or anything dangerous like that. The drone will come up, can try and harass the SCV. If it does enough damage, the SCV will have to be pulled, but ForGG is not going to fall for that and does pull an SCV of his own just to try and deal with it. But having to waste a couple of seconds, and these couple of seconds may not seem like much, but whenever you're going for an opening, anything you do in the early game really does have a snowball effect, and now 3 SCVs have had to be pulled in order to deal with this, and that is quite a significant amount of mining time lost at this moment in time. So all in all, I'd say VortiX, his single drone has done more than enough work while he's scouting, and even just going back to harass now, more wasted seconds, and literally every second does count early game. It's only been about 3 or 4 seconds wasted, but that is, as I said, quite significant early on. So this SCV is going to try and go down. Can the drone do it? This is the tensest moment of the early game we're going to get. Trying to, oh, don't get back into a corner, that's not something you want. This is like an epic game of like tag, where if one hit goes down, that SCV will die, but does manage to get away for the moment. Back at home for VortiX though, he's got his spawning pool up, got his gas up, just starting to mine away. The gas is also up as well for ForGG, so this is a normal follow-up that you tend to get just that CC, racks, gas. Some players will go double gas, it just depends on how greedily they want to be able to get down that factory. Some players will also delay the gas in order to get down a couple more barracks if they're feeling pressured, but from what he's seen, he knows that it's very unlikely that his opponent will be doing anything too risky. So this is now a very much stabilised game. These two very much on equal footing. It all comes down to what they do on from here. The Overlord will probably come in to try and get a look to see if Banshee are following up, which is of course a Wings of Liberty tactic that was incredibly popular, but it's fallen off somewhat recently in favour of going just more heavy with the infantry Hellion push, which can catch some Zerg players off guard, especially if they haven't produced any Roaches. So that's why you tend to see a lot of players go for Roaches, but VortiX, he's getting an exceptionally early lair timing. This is, well, it came down at, what was about 5 minutes 15? That is stupidly early on, and that's just going to allow him to get up onto lair tech very quickly. Could even, well, it's looking like it could be a 2-base Muta rush now, especially with those 2 additional geysers coming down. If the 4th one comes down, it's definitely going to be that. But it's something that ForGG does need to be aware of, because currently he doesn't have many Marines. He literally has 2 on the field. He's pumping Hellions. The other thing you can do if you do know that your opponent is going to try and get out very quick Mutalisks is to get a couple of Widow Mines. But judging by the fact the 4th gas isn't down yet, the Roach one is on its way. 3 gas tend to be some kind of Roach Ling big 2-base timing. And aggressive Zerg players really very much the preferred strategy by many top Zerg players, and it's just due to the fact that if you try and out-macro your opponent, it doesn't work as well as it did in Wings of Liberty. Broodlord Infestor is no longer a solid place to get to. It takes too long, there's too many good timing windows. You need some more defense. Aggressive play is favoured across all three races. So, as we can see, these Marines just sitting there quite comfortably, more Hellions hitting the field. No sign of a starport yet, and oh, a Nidus network. Now, this is making me think that it could be, well, it can't be now, but if there was 4 gas, it could be TLO's favourite build, which is to go for Swarm Host Nidus Queen, and that is exceptionally fun to watch. The Overlord is positioned, but the vision from ForGG, there is a small gap. I think a Nidus could fit in there without it getting spotted, but it would be very, very close indeed. So, will this Nidus go down? We'll wait to see, but the Hellions are coming across the map. They're going to try and do some damage. We've got the starport in production as well, so this is getting fairly tense. What's going to be going on? The Nidus is done. Come on, Nidus loading up with some roaches. Where is it going to go down? Here we go, but it is within vision. It can be seen by ForGG. The Hellions are still going across the map though. They're going to try and pick off some of these creep tumors. He's not reacting to it. The Nidus is nearly done, and it's going to pop any second, and that horrible sound will be heard. And now here come the Marines, but the roaches are already hitting the field. The tech lab getting focused. Stim is getting research, and it will be forced to stop. That is a big, big loss for ForGG, and suddenly VortiX looking to be in a very nice spot. The Hellions are even being pulled back to come and deal with this. SCVs have been pulled. A Queen is out. A creep tumor is trying to get laid and does go down. That means the scan will be forced in order to try and take that out. The Hellion will die. More SCVs are starting to fall. The Nidus does get focused. That's a wise choice because you do not want more units coming up, but another Nidus is in production. VortiX definitely starting to commit to this push, but the roaches are getting cleaned out. Quite a few SCVs have been killed though, 10 in total. The second Nidus, it is getting very close to completion. The roaches are still going. The SCVs are going to start working away at it, but more roaches are coming out. A few more do manage to make it. The Marines desperately trying to pick them off, but of course just so much damage being done here, and behind this, just drones getting made by VortiX, so he's getting even further ahead economically. The creep tumor has unfortunately been taken away, and just how awesome does creep spreading up the side of a barracks look? It looks pretty darn amazing. So, work count 44 to 29 in VortiX's favour. And it's just going to really start spiraling now, because obviously ForGG, while he is producing 2 SCVs at a time, he's going to have to really start pumping out units very, very quickly to avoid getting behind. The third base is in production. VortiX could very easily even try and take a 4th exceptionally quickly should he want to. He's got enough money there. He does have more roaches on their way out. Roach speed is complete, and he's going for another Nidus at the 3rd, so he desperately wants to keep this high pressure play up, and he knows he can do it because he hasn't seen a single tank yet. The first tank is only half done now. Without those tanks, it's very difficult to defend against a lot of roach play, and now we're just seeing these roaches streaming out. Oh, so many more are getting pumped in. The Hellions moving straight forward. See the roaches, that is not something that you want to spot early on. SCVs getting pulled, lots of SCVs getting pulled as well, so this is wasted mining time. Potentially a lot of damage could go down here. What is going to get focused? Well, the bunker takes a lot of hits, not getting repaired quickly enough, does fall, and now we just see these roaches dealing more damage. Are they going to start focusing on some of these SCVs? The answer, yes, they will, but not too many more go down yet. 15 in total have been killed this game, so not quite as many as VortiX may like, but it's keeping his lead quite substantial. 12 worker lead is very nice, but with the tank now on the field, it's going to be exceptionally hard for VortiX to start pushing up with just roaches again, and that's really giving ForGG the really bravery to move out and the comfort knowing that that tank's behind and more are on their way. Meanwhile, the starport is still pumping medevacs. What I'd love to have seen was some kind of drop play, but VortiX was expecting that, some kind of drop counter push, so he's kept some lings in his main base. He's getting down the double evolution chamber and infestation pit, going for the melee upgrades. Probably going to go to a quick hive, or relatively quick in terms of the timings we've seen so far, just due to the third base being delayed. Maybe going into some quick ultralisk, we'll wait to see. Ultra's a very popular strategy, but ForGG is really low on the army supply for this stage of the game. Only at 58. Stim is still a good 30 seconds away from completion. That is more than you'd want, but look at this. The Doom drop is on its way, but does get spotted by an Overlord. That means units can get pulled. Will they get there in time? It's going to be pretty close because this is a lot of units that are going to get unloaded. No Banelings are available. Pathogen Glands is getting research. Wants to get Infestors down. In come the Lings. The Roaches are going to try and do this, but it's a bold move to make. Stim about to finish up for the Terran player as well, and once Stim kicks in, this drop is going to be even more potent. The Roaches trying to do as much damage as possible. Stim now complete, and there it goes down. ForGG knowing his timings pretty much precisely, and now the Roach is desperate to try and deal as much damage as they can. They don't want to delay any sort of damage that can be done. The Queen even helping, and it looks like VortiX will be able to defend this fairly nicely. He didn't lose a single worker there, which is of course the aim of that drop, was to do some economical damage. And of course, this has just allowed VortiX to get out 9 more drones, so he's really starting to skyrocket ahead, and that is what he will want. He wants to get that great economy up at 74 drones, just 40 SCVs. The third command center is on its way now for Millennium's ForGG, but it's only half done. The third already up, the fourth started now for VortiX. He's going to maintain that base advantage and be very, very happy about it. The double upgrades are nearly complete. Pathogen Glands is finished. The first infestors soon to hit the field. That's going to really help. No sign of the hive timing yet though, so that's the one thing I am looking out for. But look at this. This isn't just a bit of drop harassment. This is, I'm just going to pick up my whole army and put it in your base, because that way, I'm going to be in a bit of a comfortable spot. The boost going over. Are the units going to get pulled back in time? Here come the Roaches. The Infestors are there as well. They're going to help. A couple of Roaches are still in the main base, but where's the drop going to go down? There's even a tank in there. So 2 tanks rather in this drop as well. So once that siege up goes down, will be very nice. The fungal growth is going to be essential. There goes a brilliant fungal. So many units getting caught there. Another chain fungal goes down, and that means that most of that infantry has been taken out. The tank's been taken down. VortiX shut that push down so hard. That Doom drop did nothing. That was like the apocalypse on 2012 that never occurred. And honestly, VortiX there, he was in such a nice spot. Those fungals were absolutely perfect, caught everything in them, and as such, that was just so cost effective, or cost ineffective for ForGG, losing equal amounts as his opponent. But his opponent has just got such a better economy, 40 more workers than him. The third base only now just getting taken with a drone transfer to the fourth, also going down. Hive is now starting, Spire is now starting as well, indicating the Broodlords seem to be the decision of choice for the Zerg player as opposed to Ultralisks. It is a bit late in the game to go Ultras. Generally, if you want Ultras over Broodlords, you tend to go for the Hive tech slightly sooner. So I don't know why. Well, actually, I do know why. There's lots of reasons behind it, but Broodlords are a good choice anyway, especially when your opponent's only got a single starport and you know that they're playing very drop heavy. They're probably not going to have too many Vikings. So this is all looking really nice. The Overlord is coming in. Upgrade-wise, well, 1-1 is done. 2-2 is on the way, and currently only +1 infantry weapon starting. Another Nidus is coming down. The infantry getting pulled back. It should get shut out, but it's going to be very, very frustrating for ForGG, especially. This is more of just a mind dominance play, that this wasn't expected to do too much. If it did go down, then brilliant, huzzah, that's good news, I guess. But even if it didn't, it's just saying to ForGG, do you know what, I've still got that Nidus network that put you in such a tough spot early on, and I'm happy to try and use it. So you can't just move out with all of your units, or I will counterattack you. VortiX though, he's going to start pushing into the front. He's got a good 40 supply advantage. That is really healthy. He's taking his 5th base as well, rather. So 5 bases against 3 is always going to be fun. The Ultras Cavern and Great Aspire coming down. So just covering all the bases. Like, I'm going to get some Broodlords and Ultralisks because I've got enough money for both. Might as well just get all the tier 3 units, and that is going to be very difficult for ForGG to deal with because he's going to have to prioritize either Marauder production or something else. But as we see now, a lot of units coming in. The Fungal Growths are okay, not getting quite as much as they did previously, but the Infested Terrans helping to deal some extra damage. There's a good Fungal Growth on a lot of the infantry. With the upgrade advantage, we are just seeing VortiX crush through this force. The tanks really helping, but all of the infantry pretty much taken out there. We can see the army supply looking very equal, but the important thing is only 5 Marines and, well, 8 Marines and now 5 Marauders remaining on the field. That was a very, very good push to delay any sort of drop timings or any kind of move out. ForGG is going to have to pump out units solidly now for a long period of time to make anything work. Drop tech also getting researched, so this is just me hoping we're going to see some Ling drops or something, or Roach drops into the main, because that would be sweet, especially after having Nidus earlier on. The Great Aspire about to finish up as well. 9 Corruptors coming out. The one thing that, the other good advantage that push from VortiX was he cleaned out the Roaches. They're very supply ineffective late game. He's freed up more supply in order to get some Broodlords out, and considering he's got 9 Corruptors, he's probably going to get 9 Broodlords, and once he can afford to do so, this last Corruptor will become a Broodlord, which is right about now. And there we go. So that's always good. When as a caster like, he'll get the 9th one as soon as he's got enough money, and boom, second the money comes in, he hits that button. So let's talk a little bit about the economy. VortiX is still nicely ahead. He's mining off of 10 gas geysers now, which is very, very comfortable for him. All he's got to really make sure is these drops don't do too much, but he's getting down spine crawlers, and they will be done by the time this drops come through. But there is a small area around the back here where units could do damage, but not going to work if there's Zerglings there. So this is just VortiX making sure, knowing ultimately that he is ahead, and as long as he doesn't get a base dropped or anything like that, he should be fine. The Marauders are going to take a lot of damage unless they're picked up, but an immediate reaction out of ForGG. The Broodlords need to find a nice angle to attack. Ideally, somewhere like up here would be good, or alternatively, just anywhere where they're over dead space where Marines can't get underneath them. But the Marine count not looking too comfortable, only 37, and with so many Lings out, that is going to be really tough, especially with the Infestors as well. We can see some great fungal growths would be very, very annoying. The Broodlords also mean the tanks can't siege up for risk of shelling their own units, and in we go. We've got a good amount of fungal growths hitting, not quite perfect there, but there goes the siege. This is a very, very tough hold for ForGG now. The Broodlords not getting taken out. There's no Vikings on the field at all, and that just means the Vortex able to start moving forward. ForGG looking to be in a tremendous amount of problems. The Broodlords are able to do so much damage here now. 11 Marines are in production at a time, 22 on the field, but the Corruptors mean that even the lift is not going to save this orbital command most likely. And once that goes down, it's going to be a 2-base Terran up against a 5-base Zerg. The Broodlords are taking some more damage now, but they're still doing a nice amount themselves. Transfuses are going down. This is great play out of VortiX at the moment, and as we can see, just the infantry slowly whittling away the Marines, desperately trying to get on the Broodlords, but transfuse after transfuse goes down, and there is the GG from Mr. ForGG. VortiX was victorious with that great Nidus opening and just generally cool play. I hope you enjoyed that match as much as I did. Remember, leave a cool comment, like the video, and of course subscribe, because I get new games up every single day of the week. I'm Madals, thank you very much everyone for watching, and I'll see each and every one of you tomorrow for another new cast. Bye for now.